Genshin undoubtedly changed the atmosphere in gacha gaming altogether ever since its release back in late 2020. It's really got many things going for it, such as a pretty good storyline that would be amazing as an anime. Hoyoverse, where is it? Quite amazing voice acting in every language available in the game.
I suspect smashing his head against the ground a handful of times.
And really beautiful character designs and amazing sceneries. It's really just no surprise on why quite literally Genshin Impact had a big impact in gaming today. But that's also the very same reason why other gacha games that released after Genshin that just so happened to be an open world gacha game like Tower Fantasy, Wuthering Waves, Azure Primella, and Project Mugen get instantly labeled as a quote-unquote Genshin copy or a quote-unquote Genshin killer, which is a pretty unfair title to any of these other gachas. While yes, the developers for any of these other gacha games have with most certainty 100% played Genshin Impact before and taken inspiration from it, even so, it doesn't really mean that their game is simply a quote-unquote Genshin copy or a quote-unquote Genshin killer, just because it's reminiscent of Genshin. For starters, a game trying to copy another game would be so blatantly obvious. It would be something like this. Let's take Minecraft for example. The game's been around for over 15 years now, and it's almost at the age of being able to legally take the driving test. And back in the day, literal Minecraft clones would be in the Google and Apple Play Store way too often. And nowadays, there's even a Minecraft ripoff in fucking Roblox. Over here, we have the real genuine gameplay of Minecraft. No mods, nothing, just simple vanilla Minecraft. And now moving it to the side, we've got the fake Minecraft. There's obviously some issues with the gameplay, but it's essentially the same carbon copy game. Now slapping them together side by side, we can see that the copy didn't even try to hide the fact that it was even a copy. Even the game is called Mineclone. Now something like that is just a straight up copy, but that's what being a game copy really is. It's when you blatantly just copy paste the formula and don't even try to build off of the original thing to make your own thing. Now for example, let's put Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact's gameplay side by side now, and if you just look closely at the two of them, you're gonna realize that, yes, Wuthering Waves does take obvious inspiration from Genshin, but Wuthering Waves has many of its own unique traits built off of Genshin, such as the ecosystem, which is essentially like artifacts in Genshin terms, but with its own unique twist. And personally, my favorite trait in Wuthering Waves is the pairing system. Makes me feel like I'm playing Elden Ring all over again, which Genshin completely lacks of. Tower Fantasy also takes obvious inspiration from Genshin Impact. The game mechanics in Tower Fantasy feel similar and operate in a similar fashion as Genshin, and generally has a lot of familiarities with Genshin, but Tower Fantasy is still its own game completely, which has many unique traits to it alone. One such trait in Tower Fantasy, for example, is the PvP system, in which you can actually go dog on someone with your maxed out weapons. Well, yeah, Tower Fantasy and Wuthering Waves obviously take inspiration from Genshin. They're both their own respective games that are built off the whole idea of Genshin to begin with. Now, let's not forget when everyone called Genshin a Breath of the Wild ripoff before Genshin even released back then. Breath of the Wild and Genshin Impact do have quite a lot in common, such as the exploration. But then again, Genshin built off the whole idea of Breath of the Wild and didn't really copy it, but instead just took inspiration from it. Going back to Minecraft though, not even Minecraft is free from taking inspiration from another game. It's not a widely known fact, but Minecraft was inspired by a small game called Infiniminer way back in the day, but yet nobody calls Minecraft a quote-unquote Infiniminer clone because Minecraft only took inspiration from it. But quite honestly though, it is pretty accurate calling it a Infiniminer killer because nobody even knows what that is, while Microsoft spent literal billions just to buy the rights to Minecraft. Just like Fortnite and PUBG. Fortnite took inspiration from PUBG for the whole battle royale genre, and eventually Fortnite became successful for its very own reasons. And just like Genshin Impact took inspiration from Breath of the Wild, then Wuthering Waves, Tower Fantasy, and all the other upcoming open world gachas very well most likely took inspiration from Genshin. They're not copying each other, they're just taking inspiration from each other and building off of each other. It's really just come full circle. People sure don't take into consideration the differences between the two words copying and inspiration. And now, the term quote-unquote Genshin killer. Ah yes, the second that any new open world gacha gets announced, the first thing that everyone will think is, ah yes, this game will finally kill Genshin Impact! I'm sorry to say this, but 1,000,000% it's not. Genshin Impact literally has millions of players playing this game on a daily basis. And according to this website here, activeplayer.io, Genshin has 59 million players within the last 30 days. That's insane. And sure, you can argue that it's lost 80.8 million players within those 30 days, but comparing that to the players it has active within those days, that's like pocket change to Hoyoverse. Genshin will just never be killed. It's too big to die. Genshin is like a Nokia phone. It's just not going to break, unless you throw like a dying neutron star at it or something. Now, I'm not saying that Genshin can't ever be quote-unquote killed, quite the contrary actually. But these new games releasing in order to compete in the open world gacha game sphere aren't really trying to kill Genshin. Now, while that would be the best outcome for them, it's very unlikely. They're just giving players something else to play besides Genshin, and trying to take a piece of the open world gacha game market and possibly convert a Genshin player into one of theirs. That's just how competition works. It's not some dumb conspiracy theory. Let's put on our conspiracy tinfoil hats on for a second though, and think like a game developer. You see a widely successful game with not much competition just roll onto the scene. Would you just go on about your day ignoring it, or try to take a piece of that market share? Well, of course you try to take a piece of that cake. I mean, who wouldn't? I would if I was a game developer, but I mean, I make goofy YouTube videos instead. Wuthering Waves, Tower of Fantasy, Project Mugen, Azure Premilla, and any of the other open world gacha games that have been released after Genshin are not a Genshin copy. Can we just please stop using the term Genshin Impact ripoff or this will kill Genshin Impact? Let's just enjoy playing whichever gacha games we choose to play, okay? And move on. How hard can it really be? Who am I kidding? That's impossible.